It's a war zone here today, right in the heartland. But this union's here to stay. These multinational bastards don't use tanks and bombs, it's true. But they declared a war on us. Fight back, it's up to you. There's a war on the workers. War on the workers. There's a war on the workers. There's a war on the workers. And it's time we started calling the shots.
In Decatur, Illinois, the heart of the Midwest, 760 workers and their families have struggled against corporate greed for over 2 years. They have stood up to A.E. Staley, a division of the transnational sweetener conglomerate Tate & Lyle, based in London. Workers are fighting to protect basic rights of workplace safety, job security, the 8-hour day, dignity on the job, and the welfare of their community. In June 1993, they were locked out for refusing to surrender these rights to Staley. Since that time, they have strengthened their ranks by forming alliances with other workers, clergy, and community groups. In the course of their struggle over the past year, they have found their basic rights to protest threatened. Conservative political forces in Decatur, the state of Illinois, and the U.S. government have placed themselves on the side of corporate greed. Decatur police regularly wear riot gear to picket lines in order to intimidate workers who are peacefully demonstrating. Despite this intimidation, the Staley workers are determined to win their struggle. On June 4th, supporters of the union from across the Midwest came to engage in nonviolent civil disobedience at Staley's West Gate.
I came here because I can see only one way out for working people to stick together and to fight for their right, because nobody else seems to do it for them. The politicians are not doing it, and even some of our top labor leaders are a little bit queasy about it. So those of us who went through similar experience in our younger days, organizing, in my case, shoe workers, have learned that only workers understand the struggle of other workers. That's why we're here. There are a number of us, and if we have to be arrested because we feel that justice requires it, so be it. If I get arrested here, which I expect to if they're not going to allow us to go closer to the plant, it'll be my 28th time since 1930, because in those days I was very active in the unemployed movement. And then during the war, I was arrested during the Vietnam War. The only results that we ever got was from solidarity and the labor movement really solidly backing those who went out on strike or whatever. And we're hoping that this will encourage other unions and the labor movement generally to really start becoming militant, because without struggle, they'll get no place. I've learned that in 50 years of experience.
Okay.
This is a classic case of union busting by a multinational corporation, preying victim on a small group of workers in the Midwest.
And what relationship do you see between church's role and the labor issues?
Yeah, well, this is where Jesus is. I mean, Jesus isn't in a stained glass window or in a crystal cathedral. Jesus is walking a picket line with those who are suffering. That's the way he lived when he was here on earth, and that's where his spirit abides now. So if I want to follow Jesus, this is where I need to be.
Well, I think it's a moral issue, a question of justice. The Staley workers have been locked out for a year, and I think in a year's lockout is a very unjust. There's no collective bargaining, which is also unjust.
If the workers don't win, what do you think the impact on the community will be?
It's going to be horrible. Yeah, it's simply going to be horrible. You know, we're cutting off our nose to spite our face. That the whole community will be affected.
This struggle here is probably the cutting edge of the labor struggle in this whole part of the Midwest. What happens here will affect not only what occurs in the industrial sector and labor relations, but it'll affect public sector and the education sector as well. So I'm concerned that we draw the line here in Decatur.
Together we are Today is justice for workers everywhere, and I'm so proud of what those people out there in the line are doing.
On June 25, 1994, on the anniversary of the lockout, over 5,000 workers came to show their support. Hundreds came prepared to engage in nonviolent civil disobedience. They were met by over 180 Decatur and Illinois State Police, most of them out of view of these cameras. Having been pumped up for confrontation less than an hour before, the possibility of violence by the police was in the air. When one worker allegedly brushed against police lines, the police overreacted.
They just started spraying. I was getting ready to sit down and they started spraying. I couldn't breathe. I still can't see.
Incapacitates you, and that's what they're trying to do with the union voice in this country.
No, it was wrong.
I have something to tell my students when I get back to school.
Did you do something to provoke them?
I did nothing to provoke them. I was sitting there and I got sprayed directly in my eyes.
Well, we were just standing on the line, and the police, I guess, felt it was too close to him, and they started pushing with the sticks. And one of them pushed at me, and I just put my hand up like that, and before I could tell anything, another one, a big guy, leaned over with the mace and shot me right in the face, in fact, almost directly in the eyes from less than a foot away.
I'm here to support my union. I've been a member of this local for 20 years, and I'm not leaving.
What do you think the police are doing here?
Making absolute fools of themselves, showing that they're bought up by this town and this company.
Are you prepared to get maced today if they do anything to you?
I wasn't prepared for it, but I lived through it. I guess I can live through it again.
You did get sprayed earlier?
Yes, I did.
What did it feel like?
Like I was on fire. I've been through it before. I was in the service. I'm a vet, locked out vet. They got a lot of appreciation, don't they?
So how long were you in the service? When were you in the service?
Vietnam era.
So you're a Vietnam vet?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think of what the police are doing here?
Only their jobs, whatever corporate greed tell them to do, that's what they're doing.
I was just standing there and I fell over. I tripped over someone behind me and I fell over. And someone grabbed my arm and sprayed the stuff on my arm and into my face and into my eyes.
After you fell down?
After I fell down.
Sprayed mace to my children and my family, and we were not being violent. We was executing our right as a citizen to protest the atrocities the Staleys had put on the working people when they came.
How do you feel about the Decatur Police Department now?
I feel that they're being run by the city council, and I think that the city council is being run by ADM and Staley's. That's exactly what I feel. It's been nonviolent. It's been stressed to be nonviolent. We only want to show everybody that we're working people and we're human beings and citizens of this country, and we have as much right as anybody else to a good paying job. And they take those jobs away from us, we have a right to demonstrate as such.
Who turned this into a violent confrontation?
The police did, right on the line. I was standing there watching.
All right, thank you.
The line never moved forward, and the police started knocking them back, and the line stayed the same.
This struggle goes back to one brother by the name of James Bales, who came up to a union office almost 4 years ago. He came up with his hand a grievance, brothers and sisters, that said, hey, these working conditions are not safe. You're asking me to do something that is not correct. He asked at that time to have a grievance hearing. Immediately, the company said no.
Yeah, that's right.
The unfortunate thing was, Jim went back to his job. About 3 hours later, his wife showed up with his lunch. He was on overtime to find out that Jim had just been overcome by ethylene oxide. This fight is about another brother that breathed asbestos for many, many years down in Nine Belly. And he finally died because he ended up with asbestosis. This fight is about a brother that was over here in 44 building that was a contractor that was doing his job because it was unsafe on a scaffold that fell to his death. Brothers and sisters, this fight, this standing up for your right of human dignity, sometimes you have to cross the line.
John, get the...
Because if you don't cross it, you're not going to be able to live with yourself.
Right. This determination by these workers makes it necessary that every one of us who goes back to our union or church or any organization to talk to them about a unique kind of people in this city who have stood up against the greed of the corporations, and we owe them every possible support. So go to your union, go to your church, raise money, help them survive the struggle until victory is ours. When they win, all of us will win. Victory to the Staley workers.
Help the Staley workers win this fight for all workers. First, send a contribution to Staley Workers Food and Assistance Fund, 2882 North Deneen Street, Decatur, Illinois, USA, 62526. Second, we need to tell Staley's customers to stop Staley's war on workers. The Staley workers scored a major victory against corporate greed when Miller Beer, a major Staley customer, dumped Staley as a supplier. But Pepsi and Coke, which account for a giant share of Staley's business, are the key to ending this bitter lockout. The union is asking its supporters to complain to Coke and Pepsi by writing, faxing, or phoning their 800 numbers. Write Pepsi in Purchase, New York, or call them at 1-800-433-2652. Write to Coke in Atlanta, Georgia, or call them at 1-800-438-2653. If you would like more information or an update, call UPIU Local 7837 at area code 217-876-7006 or the Staley Workers Campaign for Justice at area code 217-872-2205.